Okay, so here we are live. Yeah. So what's going to happen is I don't really intend anybody to show up and look at this. This is just merely um, what this is for is this particular video is to, and by the way, it's January 26th, but yesterday was the 25th when I was to start from the beginning that my plan is to shed the weight, get my blood sugars to where they are just absolutely normal. I'm not on any medication whatsoever for diabetes. It's really just a insulin resistance issue. Okay, so but the whole purpose of this is so that I can share my journey. All right, I'm sharing my journey. There's a lot of things on this. Sometimes I'll share different products that I've tried, maybe keto products and whatnot. And so the whole idea is not to just come out with yet another low carb intermittent fasting video. This is going to be solely about my journey. All right, my journey. And so if you want to follow along, or if this is recorded live, but it will be on my YouTube channel. It's merely just so that I can keep track of it, progress, and if anybody watches it and they're helped by that, then that's great. That's going to make my day big time. All right, so yeah, I've got like an intro video. My name is Pete, and I call myself my keto Canucker. All right. A Canucker, if you don't know if you're American or around the world, is somebody who's a Canadian, a Canucker, and I am Canadian. So, and I'm on keto, but intermittent fasting is really primarily my first line of defense in this whole journey of mine. So this would kind of be my second day. I don't want to get into too much about things because I don't want this to be long and boring. And but I don't have any fancy tricks with this. It's just going to be me. I'm just a down to earth city boy living out in the country now for a number of years. And just my journey. I've always been fat. I've been fat since I was about 12. I started to put on the weight. I was a skinny kid. Yeah, I was hyper, so I was on Ritalin, and all those kind of things. And I do have some tendency towards it. I don't want to call them addictions, all right, because then that makes it sound like I'm a victim, that I got no self-control. Self-control and self-discipline is always a very helpful thing, but incentive. And so when you get on something what I'm on as far as intermittent fasting and keto, you're going to feel great, and this is going to be addictive, and it's a good addiction, if I can call it that. So, having said that, I'm a big guy, okay, and I don't mind telling you right now, I'm 355. I have lost 2 pounds since yesterday. I was 357. The reason for that is because I am doing intermittent fasting, following keto, and I had kind of like my watershed experience yesterday where I met with Dr. Gabra at the Metabolic Clinic, which is run by Dr. Jason Fung. We can't come in for appointments, obviously, during this time, but we can meet online, and she was very helpful with things. So, what I've done in the past is I've done a lot of intermittent fasting, but of course, you can tell I'm a big guy, right? And each time I meet, I'm going to be sharing the scale. I'm going to be getting on the scale on a daily basis. The reason for that, and I know how it flip flops. Okay, I know how it does that. So I'm aware of it. So that doesn't discourage me, but I'm doing it for the purpose of that if anybody else watches this, they will be perhaps encouraged and feel like, oh, well, thank God that, that the scale moves back and forth for this guy, because it's not the only way to measure this journey. Okay, whether it's weight loss or whatever. For me, it's seen that my blood sugars are going down. All right. Now I did my blood sugars last night, and they were yeah. I like to give the what the A1C would turn out to be, even though we don't look at that at this time. But yesterday, Yesterday morning, my A1Cs would have been about 7, and then was that before a meal or after a meal? I'm not sure. Before a meal, after. Oh, I think it was, yeah. I think it was before a meal. They were 6.4, and they were about 6. So I know there's the mimoles per liter. I know in the States they do I think the something per deciliter or something. They got like usually 3 digits. My sugars will be 120 or 130 or whatever. But in Canada, I we do them a little bit smaller, and the mimoles, they're called MMOL slash forward slash liters. So but that would work out to, if I was consistent with that over 3 months, it would work out to your A1Cs. And the program that I use, or the app that I use, helps me to see that. So this morning when I woke up, my mimoles was 9.2 or 6.8. Now I have not eaten since 7 o'clock last night. I've been fasting at this stage, 17 almost 17 hours, and I feel fine. I had some things to do this morning, and I'm planning on having breaking my fast and having some bacon and some egg whites. I cannot eat yolks. I might say that many times. So all these lovely eggy meals, if you can't eat them, I can't eat them either. So I'm going to make some egg whites and put some cheese, and yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Totally strict keto. And so let's go to yesterday. I met with Dr. Gabra at the Metabolic Clinic. Very nice, very quick meeting. Just 20 minutes. So these are the things that I'm having to do now, as far as in order to help myself. Because really, over the last year, she looked at last year, and my weight was the same. It was about 355, 356, whatever. So it's been as high as 372, and as low as 338, and that was last year. So, or even a little bit the year before, I started to really get onto this. But 2020, yeah, let's not go there. But uh, there were just some ups and downs with that, uh, and there just was so much going on. But oh, by the way, I'm 57. So so they say, as you get older, it gets harder. But really, on this, let's put all those fears away, all those presumptions. If you can actually do this, you can do this at any age. So meeting with Dr. Gabra, I told her exactly what was going on, what was happening, and these are the things that she told me to do. She told me to stop drinking Diet Colas. Now, I would get a certain Diet Cola sweetened with Splenda instead of aspartame, but I have been known to have the Diet Colas or diet drinks with aspartame as well. And she encouraged me just to get like some Perrier or some of the fizzy drinks with lime. Have my 2 meals, because she asked me when I eat. And usually, what I like to do is in the evening, I'll let it carry on into the morning. And like it is now, it's about quarter to 12. So it'll be 17 hours. I might not eat till about maybe 1 o'clock. That'll be 18 hours of fasting, and I feel fine. Um, and no snacks. All right. So it's easy in the evening to have snacks. So can I say about this that you might be it might be very difficult to do that when you go on this regiment. You have to look at your whole life. You have to look at everything objectively, and you could do that either by taking a notepad or writing down exactly every day, or it might become your experience that you will find one day is different than another day. For instance, uh, maybe you might find that on the weekend it's a little bit different. You're used to maybe sitting down on a Friday night or a Saturday night, maybe ordering in something, or maybe having some munchies while you watch a movie or whatever. Those are going to be triggers to keep you from the success that you're going to find in an intermittent fasting keto lifestyle. They really are. They're going to be triggers that are going to, and so you have to rearrange. So whoever your spouse is, if you live alone, if you live with your parents or whatever, you live by yourself, whatever, you're going to have to work this out. Otherwise, it's going to defeat you. I'm just going to tell you this right now. It's going to defeat you. So, so there's some nights that sometimes we would find it very difficult. Like in the past over the years, it would be like we'd have Sunday, we'd come home, have our Sunday meal, and of course it was roast. And with roast, we always like to have potatoes. Okay, so no potatoes on a keto diet. So you know what? Nothing really tastes that good. But I have done where I've put in a roast beef and cooked it slowly for a long time. Chopped up some cabbage and put it in there, and then chop up the meat. And you have that with that. You can even put some sour cream on it. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, you could put a little bit of gravy. You have to be careful of the gravies because a lot of them are breaded. So I usually use Bisto, which if you use a little bit, you can do fine. You can do fine. So, or it might be like on a Sunday night, if you just want to relax, and you're thinking, oh dear, what am I going to do now? I'm used to ordering a pizza or used to doing this. You have to change that routine. You really do, and you got to find something else to do rather than sitting on your tush and watching something, because that is going to make you feel like, oh, usually, oh, if I'm having this, I'm having that. And so you either have to do things differently as far as what your protocol is. You have to plan. So there's a lot of planning that you might have to do, and don't feel pressured to have to do all these things. Just you'll find them. You'll find where you're going to have your stumbling points, and you'll have to just make those corrections. Okay, and it's as simple as that. So with ourselves, sometimes I'll go down to my office where I am now, and I'll do some things, maybe organize my week. And you have to look for what days or what nights are going to be triggers for you. All right, you really do. So, anyways, that's what Dr. Gabra told me. So I've given that up. No snacks, nothing after 7 p.m. And then in 3 months, I have to get a blood panel done in order to revisit things. So, so what I'm doing as well is I'm checking my bloods at least 3 times a day. Um, Sometimes it might be maybe just 2 times a day, because the little test strips, they can get expensive at times. So now, as well, what I did was I had been looking for. Well, I gave up looking for treadmills, a good treadmill, because first of all, to get a good one, you have to pay a lot of money for it. To get one that's going to be able to have a maximum weight that is around my weight, you have to pay a lot for. So I just gave up with that. I didn't really like the stationary bikes. I don't like the little seats. Yeah, enough said, right? Who likes them? They're very uncomfortable. So I was looking for a recumbent bike, and there were a couple times looking at this, and then of course I had to do a review search, and to make sure I wasn't going to get something that was a lemon and someone else wound up taking it. So I finally got a really nice recumbent bike, in which my members of my family can work out on as well. And because my son always encouraged me, to go for a 10-15 minute walk after you eat. It'll help to burn off your blood sugars. And that's true. The first thing when you're working out that your body's going to do is it's going to burn sugars. All right, and that's a good thing. Okay, especially if you have an insulin issue. Okay, so you might have diabetes, might be on insulin, you might not be. Like myself, I'm not on anything. So that's good. It keeps it low. Now, yesterday I went on my bike, went on it for 20 minutes. It's great habit. I just love it. And then I can get some reading done. I can listen to an audiobook, usually about fasting or about keto. Gary Taubes has his new book out now that I just got on keto, and I'm not sure if he gets into intermittent fast because I just started, so I'll let you know. But so that's what I'm doing. So this is strictly what I'm doing. All right. So I get up. I don't have my breakfast right away. Maybe, maybe sometimes I might have breakfast early. And so we'll just see. Maybe sometimes I need to change it up in order to keep the weight going. But as I said, I am down 2 pounds since yesterday. And of course, that's going to be water, because I was in the bathroom a few times. Okay. And I've been trying to keep my water consumption and having a coffee. I'm still fasting, so I only had 1 tablespoon of cream because I don't want to break my fast before the time comes when I'm going to eat. Um, yeah, so that's my journey right now, folks. So my sugars at Christmas were so high, and you know yourself, if you have an insulin issue, then you know what happens when you check your sugars and they're double digits. It's not good, right? And it's not a good situation at all. Now, again, I'm talking about Canadian numbers. So in the States, you have the three numbers. You have 120, 130, whatever works for you. But you know how you just feel you're just not right. It's a terrible thing when your sugars are up and you don't want them to be. And that's why I'm glad I've got my recumbent bike, because it's in Canada. It's getting cold now. It's getting minus double digits, and it's so cold going for a walk. And to be quite honest, I just find walking around the neighborhood extremely boring. I just do it because I need to do it, need to get it done. But now I can just come down on my bike. I'm in, uh, climate controlled here in the house, and so it's all good. So yeah, so anyway, anybody who sees this and they want to comment, or maybe they have a question. I have been aware of low carbing since, I think, since the 90s, the mid to late 90s, right? And I haven't been very successful on it. But I'll tell you, the fasting component really is where I think, if you find it's hard to lose the weight, the fasting component. And I love to fast. I really love the fasting thing. I get a lot done. You got lots of energy. At first, you might find it difficult. You got to make sure that you're maintaining your electrolytes. So I've said a lot of things. I didn't mean to say too much about this, but that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully, I've been able to address something that will encourage somebody who watches this. I don't really have a script. No, I don't have a script at all. Though it's not about not really having one. I just don't have a script, and I just really just get on here and just share my heart, what's happening. Um, you know, yeah. So I guess I can't really think of anything else to say. I have also joined Dr. Fung's fasting program as well. That you get 7 days free, and then it's 39 US per month after that. So I'm committing actually to 1 month plus 1 week, so 5 weeks. I'm committing to 5 weeks to see how I can go along with that and do that. And also the Diet Doctor website, if you go on that, they actually have a course that you can take for intermittent fasting, for actually coaching people on intermittent fasting. They have a whole course that you can go through for free. So there is just a wealth of information, but I would suggest go to Dr. Fung, watch him he's on YouTube, and excellent. By the way, nobody pays me a cent for any of this. I just know this has been a great help to me and appreciation to them. I just want to share as much as I can with them. So all that to say is, I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I will try to be back again tomorrow with more of an update as far as my sugars, my weight, and what I've eaten. And today, I can say that what I'm going to be having in a while will be some bacon, some egg whites with cheese, and yeah, I try to stay away from bread. I try to slice it real thin sometimes, but it's really best if you just try to stay away from it and consume what you can, and little by little incorporate more fat, moderate protein, and very few carbs into your diet. So that's all I have to say today. I hope you have a great day. You take care. Bye now.